Hi, welcome to Knits Up. My name is Mindy, otherwise known as Knitter CNY, and you found the Knits Up podcast. I started to record earlier and realized I was talking very quickly and I wasn't mic'd. So now I have a microphone on, which helps, I think, with the sound. It also helps people who need the closed captioning. YouTube, I did not realize, will automatically add closed captioning if it recognizes what you're saying, and it seems to recognize what I am saying much more easily if I am wearing a microphone. So I may sound a little bit delayed, kind of like I'm dictating something, but I think that will help considerably in people understanding what I'm saying. I have worked on several pairs of socks and I would like to show them to you. If you're not that interested in socks, it's going to be kind of a boring episode for you because that's really all I've gotten progress on this week. One of the socks that I was working on is this one, which is the Regia Cafe Facet 6-ply sock, and I had finished one last week, and the pattern I'm using is the Blueberry Waffle sock. The other sock has been started and is at the end of this yarn somewhere. Technical difficulties. As you can see, I have piles of stuff next to me on the couch. This is what it looks like so far. I've probably gotten about that far, and I'm using a Carbon's Knitter's Pride 2.5 millimeter needle using Magic Loop. So that's what I've got so far. The other pair that I was working on is out of Mill End yarn, and it came basically like this, but with two fingering weight strands that were rolled together. So I thought, why take them apart? I'll just make heavy boot socks, and that's what I'm making. I had about this much done last week on this second sock, and I switched needles to the Knitter's Pride Nova. I did not realize, however, that I had actually gone down a little bit. The top of the sock was done in 3.25 millimeter, and now I'm going down to a 3 millimeter needle. So it'll make a little bit of a difference, if you can see there, and you probably even can't see, but it's ribbing and it's a heavy boot sock, so it will stretch. It's not that big of a deal. It's under my pant leg, so big deal. Another pair of socks that I picked up that have been out of commission a while are these socks out of Patons Kroy Singin' the Blues colorway, and it's a stitch pattern by Melissa Morgan Oakes, and it's called Twilight. I'm just using the stitch pattern on the leg. I did a short row heel, German short row heel, and then just a normal wedge toe. So that's pretty simple, and I'm using Chiagu needles, and I'm using 2 of them, and I've started the second sock. I had about, was maybe up to the dark blue, but I got down to a couple more repeats of this. The nice thing is I can count the repeats of this little ribbing stitch that kind of sticks out so that I can tell exactly where I need to stop and do the heel and stuff. So that'll be pretty good. And then I picked up another pair of socks and another pair of socks. This is sort of like that old Bob Newhart show. When they lived in the inn, there was Larry and his brother Daryl and his other brother Daryl. It's sort of like that with socks this week. I am working on this, which is, I think, this is Route 66 in Patons Kroy, and I I switched to a, well, actually it's still on a collage needle. They're square, and I had got them at Tuesday Morning, which is a store around here, maybe about an hour away, and they're working up really well. I like the firm cable. We've had this talk before. Do not get the soft cable ones. You want the firm, hard cable, especially for socks. Nobody wants spaghetti when they're trying to use a knitting needle. It just doesn't work out well. And this is working up really pretty. I'm just doing plain old stockinette, and that's how the pattern's turning out. And it looks really nice. That's the first sock on that one, definitely. And then there's one more pair, which are in a new little bag that I picked up from Michael's, I think. I had a sale coupon. I picked it up somewhere. Maybe AC Moore. Might have been AC Moore, actually. And these are also Patons Kroy. I'm knitting them on a Addy Turbo sock needle in 2.25 millimeter. And they're coming out like this. And the color is Bramble Stripes. Focus. There we go. Bramble Stripes, Patons Kroy, and they kind of live in this. I'm not pulling it through the yarn through the grommet, because then what do you do when you're done? You got to leave it sort of half unzipped, and it's just a mess. So it's easily fits a couple of skeins of sock yarn. And then we had talked about how I had ordered some stuff from England. I was going to start this, so pardon the yarn, but I ordered West Yorkshire, big difference. South Yorkshire, I'm going to keep saying that, West Yorkshire Spinners, Airy Valley DK, which is 75% wool, 25% nylon. It's a DK weight, and it's 230 meters, 252 yards, 100 grams. It's made in England and in West Yorkshire. And somebody will probably call me and tell me it's not really England, it's like Wales or something. I do not know English geography whatsoever. I know there's England and Wales and other places, Scotland and stuff. Actually, I had a roommate that was from London when I was in college. But it was easy to order. I ordered it from Love Knitting. It kind of looks like this. We'll see how it wears. I don't know whether it's designed to be sock yarn or not. This color is that. I don't know what that says. And then the other color I got was Purple Haze, which is this color. You can kind of see I like purple. But anyways, that's all I have on the needles right now. That's more than enough. I have to get through all of these pairs of socks, the 5 pairs of socks, and be done with that. Then I need to get back to, I have a couple sweaters of my own, and I need to work on my goddaughter sweater before spring sets in. The last couple of days, it's been 50 degrees. All of our snow has melted away except the hard snow, just the remnants of snow piles that are, iced and everything that are in the edge of the yard. But we'll probably get snow again next week. It's central New York. We get snow at the drop of a hat. We're used to that. I'll take the couple of days while I can get it. My light was starting to fade, so I figured I better record. The hair is dry now. You can kind of see that. I had just taken a shower, even though it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been listening to audiobooks and trying to untangle yarn. If you've ever had this situation, I put it someplace it shouldn't have gone and it came out like this. This is the Luette Gems yarn that I had dyed, and it's kind of like all over the place, so I'm patiently, you know, undoing it. I definitely have different kinds of yarn. You can see that. I think this has some rayon in it, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think probably I'm going to end up making a shawl out of this because I can't make, I cannot make socks out of this. It doesn't match. And then there's like these balls. You can definitely tell there's a couple odd ones there. But I have enough to make probably a shawl, a small shawlette or something. We'll see. It's pretty. It's really pretty. It was like an open kit that I bought someplace. I can't even remember. I think the yarn stores actually had a business and switched owners and stuff. And it was on sale, and I knew when I opened it up and looked at it that it was totally different yarn. Like somebody had used one skein out of it and then replaced it with what they thought matched, and it doesn't match at all. But who cares at this point? Because it was dyeing the yarn that was important to me. But you can see how yarn takes dye differently. They're the same colors, but they take the dye differently. So we'll see how that goes. More untangling. I'm probably going to the mall